What's going on, 2Cut family? So check this out. I got a dope video for y'all today. A lot of y'all be like questioning and wondering like on my Instagram or like different social medias like how I came up, and I guess the advice I would give to you guys for anybody who's trying to come up to. Let me kind of like give you a backstory of like how I even got into the situation I'm in now. It started, I want to say, really when I was like a youngin'. When I was a youngin', like teenager and shit, like I've always been getting to the bag. Like when I was 8 years old, I used to watch cars. When I was all the way up until right around 13, 14, I started making content on YouTube. I started making YouTube content about like 2K, NBA 2K, basketball, video games, things like that. And then when I turned like 14, 15, I had got myself an internship in Atlanta. So my folks used to drop me off at the train station. I'd take the train all the way to Atlanta. Did that for 3 years, right? So now I'm 14, 15, 16, 17. So now I'm 17 at the time. I'm 17 at the time. I'm flipping shoes. I always been hustling. Like I always had 2 jobs. During school and then the summer, I always had 2 jobs. So I was already disciplined and like getting to the bag. I was already like going to the gym every day, focusing and stuff. I wasn't too like academically like on top of my shit, but I just knew I liked getting to the bag. Alright, so now fast forward, I turned about 18, you know what I'm saying? I'm graduating. Life really started to hit, you know what I'm saying? I went through some real harsh times with like losing family members, losing a lot of friends. You know, I even like dealt with like homelessness and shit like that. Like I was homeless for a very long time, and I knew energetically like the abundance that was in my soul. So it's like I kept grinding towards where I needed to go. And recently, like the past 3 years, I'm 24 now, but right around when I was like 21, I started studying like cybersecurity. I'm grinding, and I finally was able to get me a position. And again, I'm telling you, like I'm homeless during this time, and I'm studying and I'm figuring it out. I'm trying to get to a bag. I'm homeless at this time, so I finally get myself a what they call identity access management job, or IAM or PAM. I was able to land me a job. I enjoyed the money that I was getting because during this time, like I was doing, back then when I ain't have like, nowhere to go. Like I was doing Uber Eats and like DoorDash and like living in my car and shit. But once I was finally able to get me like a cybersecurity job, that's when things kind of changed a little bit for me. Like I was starting to make about 60 grand a year. Cool. But, I've always been a go-getter. I always wanted more money. So what did I do? I got me a second job, right? So now I got 2 cybersecurity jobs. Now I'm at about 120,000 a year, right? No, I was actually at about 140,000 a year. I was at $140,000 a year. So I'm like, cool. I want some more money. So what I do, I went and got a 3rd job. And that's when I realized I was starting to bite off too much. Like, how did slogan go? I was biting off more than I could chew. And I realized I wasn't able to like go to all the meetings that I was supposed to go to. And I needed help like delegating some tasks. And that's how I thought of the idea. All right, what if I hired some people to kind of delegate the tasks so I could still have 3 jobs, but I'll be able to like get some help and people kind of help me, with the work that I got. So I did that for 2 years, and I stockpiled my money. It's like I'm not a person that's like go spending. Like I had a time in my life where I spent like 100,000 in like 3 months. You know what I'm saying? And I learned from that because in my first business ever, when I was doing stocks in my first business ever, I made so much money at a young age, I didn't know what to do with it. So I went and splurged. I bought designer, I bought a bunch of cars. I bought, I ain't even have a crib at that time. I was living in New York. I was living in Cali. I was just traveling, just living wherever I wanted to live, right? I was living in Florida, traveling, living wherever I wanted to live. I'm 19 at the time, right? This was before, I became homeless and shit like that, because I had a situation with a business partner where he backdoored me and I kind of lost everything. So, I was in a situation where I lost, family, friends, my job. I was homeless, and to get back on my feet, that's how I got into like the cybersecurity route. But check this out. So now I'm 24, I'm making shit tons of money, and I'm in a position to where I'm putting like my followers on game, I'm putting people on game. I'm able to help people now. I'm gonna give y'all 5 steps, right? I'm gonna give y'all 5 steps that kind of help me like get out the situation that I was in and be able to do a lot more, all right? And still put y'all on some good game, all right? So check this out. You gotta realize that your mind is very sensitive of what you think about. All right, so essentially you become what you think about. Like, I scroll through Instagram all the time, and when I look at people's profiles, I can kind of tell, what they think about on a day-to-day basis. And I'm not talking about people who only got like 4 posts. I'm talking about people who like are actively on like social media, right? So just understanding that you become what you think about on a day-to-day basis is really key when you're trying to like get to like a higher echelon or like a more secure, like financially secure position in life, because most people they aren't like sensitive or like understand that you are your thoughts. Like, you become your thoughts. What you think on a day-to-day basis is what you become. All right, so if you're thinking about what I'm gonna eat, well, what people doing today, what club they at, what's the motion today, what's the move, if that's what you think about on a day-to-day basis, then I can click onto your Instagram account and click on your highlights or your story for the day and see that you're at clubs often, right? You're not educating yourself. Like, I can see kind of like what you think about on a day-to-day basis, and the universe and other people can see what you think about on a day-to-day basis. And that's how people respect your brand. That's how people respect like whatever business that you're doing, because they can see what you think about on a day-to-day basis. If people always see that you're innovative and you're always speaking innovations and you're always talking about like personal development or advancing your brand, then people respect that more. So more money comes in. It's an energy thing. People respect that energy. Your energy is saying, hey, every day I wake up, this is my routine. I wake up at 4 a.m. I pray, I meditate, I hit the gym. I make the task of what I gotta do today. People can feel that energy, and that's how they respect your business. That's how more money comes in, right? So making more money is always internal. It has nothing to do with what brands you want to do or like what type of business you want to pick. It has nothing to do with your business. Like, money is infinite. It's like an ocean. Like, it's infinite for anybody. But if you're not doing internal work, then the people that are, which are your competition, they're gonna take all your business. All right, step 2. Here's another good one. The more people you serve equals the more money you make. So if your business or brand only serves a very select amount of people, then that's gonna like equivalent to how much money you make. So the more people you serve, that's why influencers make more money than doctors, because doctors, they only have so many patients that they can see and they can operate on, or that they can help, to where if they only see 5 patients that month, then they only making 5 patient money. Versus like you got the Kai Cenats and like LeBron James and shit, like they're serving millions and millions of people, so they're gonna be making millions and millions more dollars than doctors and people that are actually saving lives. So the more people you serve with your business, right? If you got a business or if you're a creator, an influencer, the more people you serve is the more money you'll make. So that's another one. Number 3, you need to get a mentor or somebody that has what you want. You can't listen to people that don't have what you want. Like, that doesn't make any sense. A lot of people, you listen to your parents, and your parents sometimes downplay your dreams or like downplay what you're doing, and it affects you, because growing up, your mother and your father is who you honor. So if your parents telling you, hey, just focus on school, don't go this route, then mentally it does something to you. But I'm telling you right now, sometimes your parents aren't always right. All right, you need to get a mentor or people that has what you want, because that's the only way that's going to kind of boost you and keep you motivated to stay locked in too. All right, because I'm gonna keep it 1,000% with you. Nobody you grow up with, nobody you grew up with, and nobody who's really around you, family and friends, are going to support you on your journey. They're going to look at your business, they're going to look at your idea, and they're just going to shrug their shoulders like, cool. All right? That's discouraging for people. So you need to find some sort of community or a mentor that has what you want, so you can stay locked in and know, like, okay, it's possible. All right? Number 4, you want to become great at what you do. And to become great at something, you got to put in more hours than your competitors. Point blank. Because you got people like me who wakes up every day and I tackle it and I go straight for it. Like every single day I'm putting in 20 hours of work towards my business. That's why I'm as successful as I am. Versus my competitors, they only have time on the weekend to put towards their business. So no shit, I'm outperforming them. So if you want to become more successful or make more money in what you're doing or what business you're doing, you're gonna have to put in more hours. I'm sorry, you're not gonna be better than Kobe. You're not gonna be better than LeBron unless you have the hours to put in the gym. It just is point blank. All right, and I know some of you guys work 9-to-5 jobs. Some of you guys don't have the flexibility. Some of y'all may have kids. You know, that's understandable, but you're gonna have to take some sacrifices. Like, ain't nobody say this was easy. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Even with me having all the time in the world to work on my business, it's still hard for me. So you gotta figure out how to put more time into what you're doing to become great at what you do. Because if not, people like me or people like him or her, your competitors, they're gonna be outdoing you. So become great at what you do. Put in the hours. I think is a quote that goes like, after you put in 10,000 hours, you master a skill. And that's sort of true, but I feel like you can never truly master a skill. But you're really proficient at it once you've done 10,000 hours of that skill set. All right, and number 5 is just to stay consistent. All right, consistency is probably the most important thing that you can do when it comes to like growing a brand or being a creator. Consistency is what actually builds your company, right? So if you're not consistent, you're not going to be able to grow. You're not going to be able to reach more people. So just stay consistent and you'll be able to do more things. You'll become more powerful. You'll have more on your portfolio. You'll reach more people. And it's the hardest thing to do in a business, because you got to have the strength to be able to be consistent even when things get boring, even when things slow down, even when things get tough. You got to stay consistent. So if you got those 5 key points on lock, bro, you're good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You're going to become successful. All right. And again, if anybody's interested in flipping your jobs and you want to make money simply by applying for remote jobs and then having virtual assistants outsource the work and do the actual job for you, just comment flip or hit me up on Instagram at SunCutCaso. All right. I got you. All right. See you guys in the next video.